Okay, Max, this is your first attempt at a foundation tier paper 1. You'd need to be getting just over 60 marks to be absolutely sure of a grade C. Your estimate is 40 on this paper, so it's the first one you tried. Let's see how close you are to that estimate. 13,406, 182, 309, 72. Okay, so full marks up to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now here you have missed out 1 and 16. So you got 4 times 4, you've got 2 times 8, but you've missed out 1 times 16. They also are factors of 16, so you'll only have 1 mark for that. The value of the 8 in that number, if you read that number, is 18,623. You got a unit, which is 3, tens, which is 2, 6, which is hundreds, 8, which is 1,000. So the value of that 8 is 8, and because it's in the thousands column, it'll have a value of 8,000. Square numbers are numbers that you get when you multiply another number by itself. So for example, 16 is a square number because 4 times 4 is 16. So what you need to do is here, you want to go through your square numbers until you get the one that's in the 80s. If it's got a tens digit of 8, it means it's in the 80s. So 4 4s are 16, 5 5s are 25, 6 6 is 36, 7 7 is 49, 8 8 64, 9 9's 81. So the square number they're looking for there is 81. That's correct. That's not what you've got here. Is 2 black ones out of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So as a fraction, it's 2 out of 8. Well, 2 out of 8 is the same as a quarter, and you should know, it's one of the sort of standard equivalences you should know, a quarter is the same as 25%. And that's correct for that. So you've got the 3 marks there, 2 marks there, nothing else. 7, 8, 10, 13 on that first page. So by the time we get to the proper exam, we would expect you to be getting full marks on that first page, certainly. 330 is correct, so that's right. We've made a mistake here. So on another occasion, a profit of £180 is made when the number sold is 10. Find the outlay. So putting everything into this formula here, you've got a profit is 180. That's equal to the number sold, which is 10 times 24 minus the outlay. So let's work out that. Right, I can see here now what you've done. That is your answer, but you've underlined 180. Because what you're actually looking for is, okay, what do we have to take off 240 to make 180? The answer is 60, but it's not made clear. So let me just check the mark scheme. They will accept that because it's embedded. They will actually allow that, but you need to be careful because a different mark scheme, that may be different. So you get your 2 marks for that. Cone is correct, octagon is correct, pyramid is correct, diameter is correct, tangent is correct. This is known as a chord. Tangent is spelt like that. So there's 2 marks there, 3 there, 5, 9 for that page. Okay, so the lines of symmetry, you've got 1 line of symmetry there, but this has also got a line of symmetry going through in that direction, and also a line of symmetry going in that direction. That one's correct, but you've missed out 2 there, so you won't get any marks for that one. The perimeter of this shape is not 48, and you aren't showing me a method for calculating that distance. So what you need to do is show on your diagram what you're doing to get that perimeter. Now, perimeter is the distance you would walk if you followed the outside of that shape all the way around. So you know that that is 10 to there, and that is 2. So you'll be doing 10, add 2, add 10, add 2, add 10, add 2. But then you have to add in there that one and that one, so that's another 2 10s, and that distance there. Now that distance there, if we know it's 10 all the way across, and it's 2 there and 2 there, then that will enable you to work out that that bit there is 6. So because you haven't shown me any method, there's no evidence from your diagram that that's what you've been working with, you're not going to get any marks for that. That is correct, and your units, which there is a mark for, is centimetres squared. You've scribbled it out, so you're going to lose the unit mark. So that would be a method mark, a correct answer, but you've lost the unit mark. So total for that page, 3. So you're rounding that to £4, 98 pupils to £100, £9 for the tickets. That's excellent, and you're explaining what you're doing, so you're going to get full marks for that. So that's really good, well done. Down 5 for right, that one's wrong and that one's wrong. So let's just take a look here. Okay, what's happened there is if it's gone from -2, -2, down to -6, it's fallen another 4 degrees. So it's down 4. And here, if it's gone up 2 and it's finished at -5, that means it was colder than that initially. So that has to be -7, and then when it's got 2 degrees warmer, it's at -5. So 2 for that. 9 for the page. Okay, so let's take a look at what you've plotted here. So each of your points is slightly below where it needs to be. Each of these little squares, as you said, that's 2.5, so they're going up in halves. So across 13 and then 4.6, well, that's 5, that's half a square down, so that would be 4.5. So 4.6 would be just above where you've plotted it. 12.4, 10, 10.5, 11, 11.5, 12, 12.4, just above again, and 21.2, 20, 20.5, 21, just above again. So your points are all slightly in the wrong place, and you then need to join them up with a line. So you're not going to get either of the marks for that, and you aren't showing me a method of how you're using your graph for that. So you don't get any marks for that question, unfortunately. Take a look how I explain it on the video clip. That's correct, so 2 marks for that, 2 for the page. 7 out of 16 are going to win, which is 140 out of 320. So that is correct. Money in, 50 pence times 320 is, it's not £16, it's £160. Okay, what you got is £0.5 times 320 is going to be £160, half of 320. Then you've got your 80 pence times 140, which again, that's wrong. It's the right method, but you've multiplied it incorrectly. And then you are working out a subtraction which is correct for your wrong calculations there. So you're going to lose the middle 2 marks because of those two being wrong, but then you will get the method for your final answer because you're then working with your wrong calculations. So for this, that's wrong. That's not 114, that's 66 as well. So that's not 114, it's 66. And then once you know that both of those are 66, because it's an isosceles triangle, you take that away from 180. So you've made a couple of mistakes there. And with this one, again, what you need to do first of all is to find what that angle there is by taking it away from 180. So that angle is 180, take away 106 because it's on a straight line. And then you need to know that those 4 inside there add up to 360 and subtract the ones that you know. So again, you've missed the knowledge there. So total on that page, 4 marks. The 9 is correct, but the others aren't. Now, I'll probably go through this in class anyway because I don't think many people have got it right. But also, if you take a look at the video clip on the class page, I explain there how you work those out. So that's your line of best fit, not bad. Write down the price of the new car. So what you need to do is work out how much each little square is on here. So it's going from 0 to 2,000 in 10 jumps. So you do 2,000 divided by 10, which is £200 per square. So going up here, you're going up 200, 400, so it's 6,400. 2,000 is correct. Best fit is fine, negative is good, and that's good. So you lose that first mark, but then you got 1, 2, 3, 4 marks from there. 5 for that page. This isn't an equation, so you can't get an answer. What they're asking you to do there is to put that into brackets. So it's the opposite of multiplying out a bracket. So you're looking for common numbers that, or letters that are in both parts of that. And 3 will divide into that, and 3 will divide into that. So that means that you can take 3 out of it, and if you divide 3 into that, it leaves you 8x, and if you divide 3 into that, it leaves you 1. So that's factorizing. For the rest of them, it's certainly something we'll practice in class, but if you have a look on the my video clip, I explain that there. The tables don't sit for people. Again, if you watch the video, I explain how this is developed. So it is 1 and 3 and 2 and 2, but it's also 3 and 1. Okay, so the first dice could be 1, the second dice could be 3. You could throw a double 2, or the first dice could be 3 and the second 1. So there are 3 different ways of getting it, and it won't be out of 8 if you think what you've got is one of these where the first dice and the second dice, actually there are 36 different arrangements that could take. So you've missed that out. It would be out of 36, so you haven't gained any marks there. And this is something we will certainly be practicing. If you want to find out beforehand how to do it, have a look at the video clip. Okay, so you're reckoning 40. I think that's not a bad estimate. I think you probably get a few marks more than that, but not 60. 13, 22, 25, 34, 36, 40, 45, 45. So 45 on that paper is actually a grade E, and it is 3 marks from a D. So if you find yourself 3 more marks in there, you'd have got a D. You're about 15 marks off a C. So first foundation paper you've tried. It's quite different to a higher tier, but I'm sure there's many marks in there that when you go through it, you will be able to do.